When Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers broke baseball's color barrier in 1947, it was a major public step towards the integration of black and white America. Robinson joined the Dodgers 8 years before Rosa Parks' refusal to move to the back of the bus in Montgomery, Alabama, triggered a famous boycott that galvanized the modern civil rights movement. Robinson's rookie season came 7 years before the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in Brown v. Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas, that segregating black and white public school students into separate public schools was unconstitutional. And 1 year before President Harry Truman ordered the integration of the armed services. Here's Larry King about an interview he conducted with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in 1966.
When I interviewed Martin Luther King, I introduced him by saying the founder of the Civil Rights Movement. He said, "Let me correct you. The founder of the Civil Rights Movement is Jackie Robinson."
In 1947, Robinson helped the Dodgers to their first World Series in 6 years and was named baseball's Rookie of the Year. He blazed a trail that benefited many athletes, including Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder Willie Mays, here with some taxi drivers at the Roosevelt Hotel during his playing days with the Giants after he moved with the team from New York to San Francisco. And Ricky Bell, introduced as the first pick in the 1977 NFL Draft by League Commissioner Pete Rozelle at the Roosevelt. The hotel was named for Theodore Roosevelt, the former president, whose admirers included the parents of Jack Roosevelt Robinson. Robinson was in the hotel during and after his playing days to promote minority causes, including with Thurgood Marshall 10 years before Marshall became the nation's first black Supreme Court justice. At the Roosevelt in 1953, Robinson was with his wife Rachel for a dinner that raised $600,000 for the United Jewish Appeal. Jewish causes were supported at the Roosevelt by such athletes as baseball's Hank Aaron, tennis's Althea Gibson, the first black woman to win the U.S. National Championship, now known as the U.S. Open, Olympic great Jesse Owens, and one of Robinson's Dodgers teammates, pitcher Sandy Koufax. Koufax was born and went to high school in Brooklyn, and then played for Brooklyn before moving with the team to Los Angeles. Koufax was in the Roosevelt when he posed after his record-setting win in Game 1 of the 1963 World Series against the Yankees, and a year later after throwing his third career no-hitter. Star athletes such as Robinson and Koufax, and the first Jewish player inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame, New York-born and raised Hank Greenberg, had great influence among members of groups that had historically been marginalized. As a consequence, those groups more fully and more quickly embraced their Americanness than they might have otherwise.
It is worth remembering, because sometimes people wonder, well, why are you spending time on sports? There's other stuff going on. That throughout our history, sports has had this power to bring us together even when the country is divided. Sports has changed attitudes and culture in ways that seem subtle, but that ultimately made us think differently about ourselves and who we were. It is a game and it is celebration, but there's a direct line between Jackie Robinson and me standing here.